Alright, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother AHBAD from YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI AHBAD. I'm Prophet of Service, St. Petersburg, Florida, GMS Temple Bay 12. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem HaKadash. Double honors to my elder apostles of Great Millstone and of Israel. Single honors to all you sincere brothers. Peace and blessings to the 1/3, and also to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom, peace and blessings be unto you all. And well, basically provoked me to want to do this video. I was listening to the 5150 show by Corey Holcomb, and Willie D from the Ghetto Boys was on there, and they was talking about temptation. And he said, I wish I can say that we can control our temptations. He said, but we can't. He said, if we were able to control our temptations, we will basically be immortal. You know, and it was like, you know how Jake be. And I thought about it, and it's like, that's pretty much the stage that we are in, the elect of Israel. You know, we're in that stage of almost becoming immortal. And what I mean by that, I mean, the things that we are doing is all by the Spirit, and we're faultless because Yahawashi blood is what cleanses us. See, it's not by our works that we shall be saved, but by the faith that's within us that persuades us to do the work, we shall be saved. So the temptations that we have for so long been, you know, under subjection to, we basically put it on the back burner. But that old man will always try and come back. That's really that temptation, that old man. Because Satan knows how to get at you. But before I go any further, let me pull out 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. To have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will, with the temptation also, make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So the temptations that we are under, it says that, but such as is common to man. So what are temptations that we all have? Well, let's say, you know, someone who's a little overweight. They want to lose weight, but they're always tempted to want to eat pizza or eat hamburgers or drink sodas. You know, someone who someone who's trying to, you know, get themselves in shape or something. You know, rather than force themselves up out of the bed to go walk a brisk mile or to walk 30 minutes, they rather turn around and watch Netflix or play the game. It could be anything. Or how about this? Rather than you spending more time watching videos or doing videos or in your scriptures, you tending to, you know, cookouts or you know, frolicking and playing. We all are tempted by something that the flesh always wants. So there's nothing uncommon to man. But see, we following instead of Yahawashi. See, Yahawashi was that prime example of anyone conquering the flesh. And we're going to be just like him in that day. So conquering our temptations will lead to immortality. Understand that? So meaning that not being of this world, but being of the Spirit is what's going to save us. Alright, because being by the Spirit is being led by the Spirit, which is given to you by faith and grace. Alright, which goes back to the Spirit of truth. So now, I'm going to Hebrews chapter 2, verse 16. It says, for verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. This is talking about Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Okay? Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. Who's his brethren? Go into Romans the 9th chapter, the 1st verse through the 4th verse, okay? And that, so like that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest, okay? In things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. Of who? Israel. Go to Acts 5 and 31. Okay, Acts 13 and 23. So right there is clearly telling you he took on what? The nature of a man. Who's this? Yahawashi, the anointed one. So when you go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, if he was in the flesh like we were, that means that he was tempted like we were as well. Was not he tempted by Satan? Matthew the 4th chapter, when he was meditating Think about it. 40 days he goes without 40 days he goes without eating. He's fasting. And all of a sudden Satan comes up to him, hey man, won't you, I think you told me to turn some rocks into bread, or to consume something. And YAHAWASHI was basically saying, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the Most High's mouth. He was tempted there. YAHAWASHI was also tempted when he was in the garden of Gethsemane, which means the wine press. Okay? So he was tempted. It's just different levels and variations of temptation, but nonetheless though, it all goes back to that flesh. So we're mortal while we still in this flesh. That's why the scripture says the corruptible shall not inherit the incorruptible, because Paul said we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye. So us suppressing our temptations right now is what's going to lead us to be what? Immortal. And I have a prime example of that. This is just us going through the gauntlet to prove that we're going to be worthy to get those new bodies and to be in the upper echelon, the governing body of the nation of Israel. So why not suffer for righteousness' sake on this side, than to suffer wickedly for the things that we did for not believing and not taking heed to the words of YAHAWASHI. Those who are subject to their temptations, those are the ones who are led by carnality, by the flesh. And the scripture says to be carnal minded is death. Remember that. This is 1 John chapter 3 verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of Yahweh. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Okay. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. Remember that? Remember that now. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Call all YAHAWASHI. So we don't know what we gonna be, but what did the scripture just say right there? But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. We're going to be like YAHAWASHI. We're going to be immortal. Why? Because we overcome all the obstacles in this world. Alright? From the physical carnality to the spiritual carnality of y'all, if you can grasp what I'm saying. You know? Because some things started, everything started in the spirit, and then if it leads to something carnal, where was your mind at? Where was your spirit at? Okay? But I want to prove a point, talking about when he come back, we're going to be like unto him. So we're going to be a new body. Listen to this. Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So if YAHAWASHI not going to meet them as a man, but going back to 1 John 3 and 2nd verse on down, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. But remember, we were tempted. I'm going to just say YAHAWASHI was tempted like any other man was in the world. But now he sits on the right-hand side. He has dominion over the world forever and ever and ever. The same thing with us. We must go through these temptations. But if you conquer your temptations, it leads to immortality. That's the beauty of this process that we're in. It's called being refined, people. All right? We have to be purged. That's how you get the increase. That's how you get the glory. That's how you stand up there at the podium, you know. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying as if we're competing like against each other in wisdom. It's that we a whole body and we fighting against. We the body of righteousness fighting against the body of wickedness and deceit. That's what it is. And we trying to come out on top every time. And how do we come out on top? By the Spirit, man. But what we doing right now is going to lead us to be just like unto YAHAWASHI. Didn't YAHAWASHI say we're going to do greater things than he? I don't even want to think about what that is. Just alone, you putting your life on the line, it's like, wow, for us. You understand? That's heavy. So now let me go into, I want to go into 1 Peter, and I'm going to close out after this one. I just want to make a couple of key points, just some good key points, man, just to go to show, man, that us suppressing our us suppressing our Salakia. What's the word I'm looking for? Suppressing our temptations, exactly. Us suppressing our temptation is what's gonna lead us to be immortal. Alright? So without further ado, where is it that I'm looking for? Salakia. I'm in First Peter. Is it First Peter 2? Right here. First Peter chapter 2. Start at 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. His marvelous light, that's wisdom. That's wisdom. His marvelous light is wisdom. You understand? You know how beautiful that is? We've been called into his marvelous light. Now let me find another precept to go with that. Before I do, I'm going to read a little bit more. Okay. Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. He's always talking about us, his people. But he said he pulled us out of, he pulled us out of darkness into his marvelous light. That marvelous light, man, goes back to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's what separates you and makes you righteous above the rest of our peoples, man. Okay? Whew. Now let me go into Wisdom of Solomon 1:15. For righteousness is immortal. Righteousness is immortal. Okay? So, matter of fact, one more precept. It says righteousness is immortal. I'm just going to go to Romans 8:4 and I'm going to close out. You know, it's just a spirit right now. This is Romans chapter 8 verse 4. Listen to this. The righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. So what is our righteousness? What leads us to our immortality? Not just the law alone, but the faith that's been bestowed upon us, where the just shall live by faith, which shall keep the law and constantly be refined in the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. Alright? So with that being said, I pray you were edified. Call loyal like YAHAWASHI by Shin Kadash. Like I always say, ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Call me out Allah, a waffle of a ball, shalom.